Everybody be cool. You be cool. Somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Low profile. You understand the meaning of the words low profile?
Sure. Two of America's most dangerous criminals have taken hostages.
What is this? It's called a punch. I'm going to ask you one question, and all I want is a yes or no answer. Do you want to live through this?
Yes.
Okay, Ramblers, let's get rambling.
One night is all that stands between them and freedom.
This is my kind of place.
But it's going to be one hell of a night.
We might be in trouble. We have a bunch of fucking vampires out there trying to get in here and suck our fucking blood.
Now, their only chance is to fight back.
Oh, yeah!
Keitel, George Clooney, Quentin Tarantino, Juliette Lewis.
Welcome to slavery.
No thanks. I already had a wife.
From dusk till dawn.
This is Catherine Isabel, and you're listening to the Knife Party podcast. I hope you enjoy it, because I don't.
Groovy.
Hello. Hey, Eli, it seems like we're on a vampire streak, are we not? Welcome to another edition of the Night Party Podcast, where we leave it all on the cutting room floor. I'm of course, your illustrious host, Zach Evergreen, and you are listening to the Knife Party Podcast. And today we are talking about From Dusk Till Dawn, which is funny because we always called it Dusk Till Dawn. I do not remember this. Maybe it's that Mandela effect. I always call it Dusk Till Dawn. I don't remember From Dusk Till Dawn. But anyway, From Dusk Till Dawn is what we are doing today, and we're going to get into it. But before, I have to give a shout out to what makes the show all possible. I got to pay some bills, people, and that's to our Patreons. Patreon.com/KnifePartyPod. That's where you go, and you pay $5, and you join the I Got 5 Kids to Feed, and there you will get not only this show for free and early, but you will also get other shows such as Midnight Ramen, our video game nerdy show, and also our D&D nerdy show, our Cowboy Bebop nerdy show. It's just a nerdy show. It's just got nerds. That's what it is. It's nerd. All right. It's a great show. We also do top 10. I heard the kids love the top 10s. We also do Knife Party After Dark, and that's where the lights are off but the mics are hot. And basically what that means is that we break our sober contract, where we are drinking or doing things that are legal in certain places, and we have a good time and we record it. And we also do Slimerock Radio, your community talk radio, and that's where we go over the news on Twitter, and we try to keep it funny. You know, news is sad, but so that's why we try to find funny. It's a clip show, guys, and it's funny. I had a male OnlyFans model who was really into doing things with his rectum. I mean, that's the kind of show you get for only $5. You get all these shows, because, you get this for free. Everything else I do, I do 3 shows a week at minimum. So you get a bonus 2 hours for only $5. And for $20, you get to Stop the Bike. And Stop the Bike is a lot of fun. That's where you become a Stop the Bike member. You could tell me to stop the bike and I have to watch a movie of your choosing. You get to be a guest on the show. And we also have a PlayStation Network thing. In fact, we have a thing planned with the Matreon, if you will. Nikki is planning a new Baldur's Gate playthrough, and it's going to be a Patreon only thing, and it seems like a lot of fun. I think it'll be fun. But yeah, that's $20, and also you get sweet gifts, including T-shirts, water bottles, records, signed DVDs, and jerky where available. Who doesn't want jerky in their mail? And yeah, you get to be part of the show. It's a lot of fun. Also, I haven't plugged this in a while. Please email me at knifepartypod@yahoo.com. I actually do respond to all those emails. So good times. We're talking Test Till Dawn. And for that, I think I need some cool gothy music. I think. So let's see. Paid all the bills. Yeah, I'm going to go over some fun facts on this. And I have very few fun facts. By the way, we are hot on X, as we always are. If anyone has anyone comment on, I usually bring them in. It actually bit me in the ass last time. Not to lie to you. We had some people coming in, like some scammers. So now I have it where people can listen, but they can't join in. The kind of open mic thing is kind of out the window. Kind of got to be a member. But if anyone wants to join in and not just be a listener and they want to talk, kind of got to be a member. But anyway, so Dusk Till Dawn just celebrated his 29th birthday on January 19th of 1996. Can you believe how fucking old this movie is? True story. So I have this aunt. Her name's Walene, right? She's one of these weird girls that makes her own beer and wine. I'm pretty... She's one of those girls that got her first tattoo at like 42. Yeah, she's a weird girl. Irish Catholic, so, I mean, that goes without saying. Into girls and boys. I don't know why that matters, but it does. But anyway, she was always in my mom's side of the family, who I actually am not a big fan of. I have of my mom's side of the family, I have 3 people that I actually talk to. And everyone else, I'm like, why are you calling me? Shout out to Jeremy. Shout out to Walene. Shout out to Uncle Jay. But everyone else can basically, if they died on in a fire or whatever, I'd be like, sucks. Human life and all, but really doesn't bother me. Anyway, she brought this over. It was weird. And it's kind of weird for the show. Because we just did Nosferatu and we did Dracula 2000. I've been in a vampire mood recently. I don't know why. But I've heard something weird. A psychologist said that whenever there's an election coming, people either watch vampire movies, werewolf movies, or their porn habits change to incest. I know that's weird, and I don't know why I brought that up, but I just read this fucking thing about it. It's always during January of an election month that these things spike. I don't know if they're related. Who knows? But anyway, yeah. My Aunt Walene, she worked at Blockbuster way back in the day. You know what's funny? I know a lot of people that worked at one would think I would work at Blockbuster, but I didn't. I worked at the Warehouse, which was the bastardized version of Blockbuster, because it was we rented CDs and shit and porn. I think we rented more porn than Blockbuster. I don't think Blockbuster rented very many adult videos, but regardless. Anyway, I couldn't get a job at Blockbuster at the time. And the Warehouse hired me, and here I am. I don't work there now. There is no Warehouse. They went out of business. You know why? Fired me. That's correct. They'd still be operational if they didn't let me go. It was 2001. They made bad decisions, and the terror attacks happened. And One would think if I wasn't fired, the terror attacks would not have happened. But, that's for you to think about. If you're a terrorist, I could have had a successful career at the warehouse. Maybe brought it back. I don't know. Totally optional. One could think about that. If you're an Al Qaeda member, you need to think about that because, bad times. Anyway, back to this movie. So yes, January 29th, 1996. I remember my Aunt Wileen brought this over. We were living in El Cerrito del Norte. If you don't know where that is, that's basically the worst part of Richmond. Well, not the worst part of Richmond. All Richmond sucks. Sorry if you live in Richmond, California, not Virginia. But it's basically gangland. And my Aunt Wileen came over because my mom was really sick. And for whatever reason, she was on a vampire kick. She brought over this movie, Interview with the Vampire, and she brought over another movie. I'm trying to, If These Walls Could Talk, or some dark shit like that. But it was great because when you were watching these on VHS, it would say screener, do not sell, do not duplicate, all that stuff. And I actually watched this for the first time right after rewatching Interview with the Vampire, because I watched that when it dropped, but it was kind of cool to have two cool vampire movies going at once. And I was a Tarantino fan at the time. Even though he wrote this script, he did not direct it. I'm going to get into that when I go into my fun facts. But this is my... So, to be completely honest with you guys, I never saw Reservoir Dogs. I saw it later, and I didn't see Jackie Brown till later. This came out... I don't think Jackie Brown was even out yet. But, so my only Tarantino shit was... And also, internet was very limited. I didn't know that Tarantino wrote this. I just know... Hey, that's the guy that's in Pulp Fiction. That's the dead blankety blank storage guy. I like that guy, and I know he wrote Pulp Fiction, and that's awesome. He's in this movie. This movie's crazy. So anyway, my Aunt Wileen stayed over and got drunk a lot. Runs in the family. And she ended up leaving this movie and a few other blockbuster do not sell or give to family movies. And I ended up with them, and they're cool. And this movie stuck with me for a long time. I had it on VHS, and when my mother, we moved, she lost my VHS collection in storage. By the way, she also lost all my Magic cards and Wolverine comics and a lot of stuff in storage as well. So either they all got thrown to a garbage dump, or some nerd that owns a comic book store is made a lot of money, because I doing the math now. Jesus Christ, there was a lot. That's the shitty thing about collecting nerdy stuff. When you're a kid, child of divorce, and your mom can't pay her fucking bills, you lose everything. It's very sad. I think this is why I don't have a good relationship with her. But this is not therapy. We're talking about a movie here, From Dusk Till Dawn, or Dusk Till Dawn as we call it. So I'm going to go over some fun facts. All right. First off, this was going to be a Tales from the Crypt series. So Tales from the Crypt actually was a great show. I think it came out in 91 or 92. I used to watch every episode. It was on HBO. It was great. You know it if you know it. If you're my age, you remember the Crypt Creeper and everything else. They also sold all the series later on, but it was basically Twilight Zone, but you had the Crypt Keeper. It was great. It was kind of like Creep Show, not as good, but kind of good. It was a generic ripoff of that, but an updated version of Tales from the Dark Side. So anyway, Tales from the Crypt was going to be a movie series at a certain point. They were actually going to make it so, like, you know, they were going to do a movie each year, right? And they start out with a great movie, Demon Knight, spelled with a K. Billy Zane, very great. We're going to cover that movie eventually, too. We definitely are. Great soundtrack, by the way. Fucking awesome. I mean, we're talking Sepultura, Ministry, of course, Pantera. Anyway, the whole fucking movie is great, and it's one of those cool kind of standoff movies. I love the standoff movies where, you know, the whole movie takes place in one spot, but yet you have other means by it, and it's a very cool movie. So they're going, okay, this movie was a success. What are we going to do next? And the next was going to be a vampire movie. Now, Dusk Till Dawn was on the shelf. Tarantino actually sold this script for $1,500. And it was the first movie he actually made any money on. Script, that is. Now, keep in mind, this motherfucker just did Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction, and still people weren't buying his scripts. Before this, he just did True Romance, and he also did Natural Born Killers, that both sold. I don't understand why people didn't buy his scripts. They were fucking morons. I mean, if I was a movie studio and I had those scripts, like, why? Maybe it was his bad business decisions that he didn't take those. Regardless, anyway, but him and because Desperado was such a hit, it was a big hit. It, like, I don't know if you remember, if you were my age, I was in 7th grade when Desperado came out, and like, this was the new Scarface. El Mariachi, people didn't even remember, but this is what gave a lot of people a lot of clout. You know, a lot of people didn't know. Obviously, all the nerdy white kids knew who Tarantino was, but we didn't know who, we didn't know who Robert Rodriguez was. Like, or maybe we did. I mean, I didn't, though. But I remember watching it in like band class. There in 7th grade, we were watching El Mariachi, and we were watching Desperado, and a lot of these kids, these urban kids that were in love, they were, hey, what's up, Neo? They were in love with Scarface. Were turning over to this new kind of gangster type films, and they were going over to this more Hispanic kind of movement. But also, too, Scarface is not really a great movie. Rewatch Scarface, it kind of sucks. It's not that great. Like, Robert Rodriguez is a way better director, and Quentin Tarantino by far is a way better director than anything that he's done, in my opinion. Now, anyway, going back to this. So this movie comes out. The mishmash of these two directors, and they are fast friends, right? Robert Rodriguez loves what Quentin Tarantino's doing. Quentin Tarantino's loving what he's doing. He writes a script, he picks it up, and he goes, I want you to actually be in the movie. This is Quentin Tarantino's first, like, I'm actually going to act in a movie besides the Dead Storage film, or the pussy, the scene. Tarantino writes himself in all the films, and he didn't do it to be an egotist. Tarantino wrote himself in all these films because he knew there were certain things that people don't want to talk about and or people don't want to do, and it's just like one less person, and he kills himself off in almost every movie too, which I think is awesome. It's great to be a heel and die. Heels that live, it's not really that much fun. But anyway, that's kind of how their relationship met. Later on, of course, they went on to do great things like the whole Grindhouse series, which I'm a big fan of Grindhouse, especially, but more so, less on Tarantino. I know it's weird. It's like I'm going on the Rodriguez phase. I like Planet Terror a lot more than I do Death Proof. I think Death Proof is actually... I think it's okay, but I think that Rodriguez did a better job on his part. And later on, he did Machete and everything else like that, which I'm kind of whatever on. But going, Neo, you're a speaker now. What's up? Let me unmute you. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Planet Terror is the better of the two.
Planet Terror is the better, is it not?
It is.
And it's one of my top 10 zombie films. It's up there. It's got to be. You got Bruce Willis. You got balls being cut off. You got Tarantino going, let me get my dick wet. There's like a lot of things in that movie that are fantastic. Are they not?
Yeah. And it also pointed out a very odd, bit like, fact.
Yeah. And also Rose McGowan is great. And also El Rey is cool. Everything. I love Planet Terror. It is the better of the two. I think the one good thing, and the only good thing actually about Death Proof, is the car wreck scene is so good. But... I think the best part about Grindhouse actually is the trailer for Machete. Just the trailer is so good, right?
Yes.
And that takes us back to this film, Dusk Till Dawn, where it's the beginning of Danny Trejo's like awesomeness, because we've never seen Danny Trejo besides. Besides Desperado, we see him, he's the knife thrower, but now we actually see Danny Trejo in a speaking part. And dude, his career right now is crazy because of this. I mean, he's got fucking like restaurants and shit. But anyway, going on.
Don't forget, he also was the boxer in, I think it was Raging Bull.
Was he really?
Yeah, he was hired to be a
get the fuck out of here. And
they found out that he actually knew how to box, and they put him in the ring with De Niro.
Wow, I did not know that. Okay, that Raging Bull is something we'll have to eventually down the line. So I'm going down the line of my fun facts. So and you just joined at the right time, because I just started my fun facts. I started out with my Tales from the Crypt stuff, but moving down the line. So this had the Evil Dead 2 treatment, where they had to switch the blood to another color to avoid NC-17. So now we're in the 90s now. There's not a rated X like there was in the 80s. We have NC-17. So what NC-17 means, you have to actually produce an ID to get in this movie. They knew that the blood content was going to be so graphic that they changed the blood to green, but they put a dark filter on it so the blood looks black. Can't really even tell it's green. I'm actually a fan of this. I don't mind if my vampires bleed black, blue, green, whatever, or my deadites bleed a different color. I'm not actually offended by it. I want the humans to bleed red, and if my aliens or my monsters bleed a different color, it doesn't offend me. I'm with it. I'm like, okay, cool. Like when Ash has black, green blood, blue blood, pink blood all over him, That means he just killed a lot of deadites. In this movie, when they're killing vampires and they got this green chunky blood on them, I'm not mad at the fact that, hey, they bleed a different color, you know. It is what it is. Right? So, anyway, I'm not mad at that. Moving on a little bit. Neo, this for you. Did you notice that Chongo beer, which is in the movie Desperado, is in here? Also, they use Big Kahuna Burger is also in this movie when Seth comes home, and also they have Red Apple cigarettes.
I was about to say, Red Apple cigarettes is the thing that keeps popping up.
Yeah, so apparently Tarantino, get this, said that this movie actually takes place not in the same universe as Pulp Fiction, but it does take place in the same universe as the alternate universe, which is the Bride universe, aka the Kill Bill universe. This movie takes place there.
Huh.
Yeah, so get this. Remember we were talking about the two different universes of Tarantino?
Yes.
So remember, universe 1 is the universe of which Jackie Brown takes place in, which Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, they all take place in, right? That's the omni-fictional universe, right? And then that's also the same universe. But then there's a different universe, which is the Django universe and the Kill Bill universe exists in. It's the alternate universe, the kind of more fantasy anime craziness of Tarantino. Well, anyway, apparently the Robert Rodriguez universe actually takes place there too, meaning Desperado, El Mariachi, and The Bride exist in the same universe.
That would be an interesting combination to have. The mariachi throw down with the bride.
Oh, I'd see that, but my money's on mariachi because apparently Machete is in the same universe as the Rodriguez universe, which is still part of the Tarantino. I like that idea.
They need to make another Machete.
Well, I saw the first two. They're both good. They're not great. They're good. You know what I mean?
No, that's the point. They're
like Dale and Tucker versus Evil. They're yeah. That's why I say they're D+++ movies. You know, they're not trying to be a film. They're trying to be a movie. As you said, a popcorn movie. I love that term, and it's totally true. Okay.
And it's one of those. Okay, this isn't a great movie, but you catch it on. Odds are you're going to watch it. Find it on Netflix.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, who turns on this movie and turns it off? It's like Shawshank. You got to watch it, right? And same with the other ones we just mentioned. You got to if you turn on, like, okay, I'm not one that's going to sit down and watch Kill Bill, but if it's fucking on, I'm watching it. If I turn on a movie and this is on, I'm fucking watching it unless they start editing it out, and I'm like, fuck you. Also, too, by the way, so we have the Blu-ray version of Dusk Till Dawn, and there's a lot of more stuff than I remember being on streaming recently. Because I did watch it on streaming recently. They edited a lot of shit out, and that gets me to my next point. Did you know this movie was banned in Ireland?
I was not, but I can take a shot as to the Catholicism route.
Actually, it was because here's exactly what Ireland said. Ireland said that it was irresponsible in the way that it depicted violence. And I'm thinking to myself, Ireland, are you retarded? Now, listen to me right now. I am half Irish, okay? I'm allowed to say the word retarded when I talk about my own people. They put good times over family. I'm telling you this. RoboCop is allowed in Ireland. It's one of the goriest movies, and it's the best movie of all time. But anyway, there are so many gory movies out there. Saving Private Ryan is out there. They're fighting fucking vampires. The dark.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around Ireland.
They're super woke,
issue
dude.
with how the violence is portrayed.
Dude, they're super, super, super woke. But how can
even though this was when the IRA was active?
How can you be woke for vampires with green blood? Like, really? You know what I think it is? I think it's the Irish Catholic thing are so sexually, because, Catholicism. No offense to any Catholics listening. We love you. I think that's so, like, I think the foot scene with Selma Hayek just got too many boners going. What do you think?
I think the snarky line that George Clooney immediately says after that.
That's what I call a fucking show. By the way,
no thanks. I've been married.
The whole thing about the foot scene with Selma Hayek, which, by the way, I don't know. A lot of people know this. I'm a foot guy. I'm not a foot. They don't give me boners. I just like rubbing feet. Like, if I see feet, I want to rub them. I don't know what it is. It's weird. It's non-sexual, though, with me. I know that sounds weird. I'd rub your feet, and it would be totally non-sexual. I like finding pressure points, especially when people have injuries. I like detecting them. And, I know this sounds fucking weird, really gay and fetishized and everything. It's not. It's just like...
What you're trying to say is you enjoy helping with pain relief.
Exactly. I know a lot about acupressure. I've been studying it since I was 11. So over 30 years. I like pressure points. I think it came from when I actually was doing karate and kachikembo and stuff, and they were telling you about because it has a lot of pressure points and Eastern medicine and everything else like that. And like if you press here, this will relieve this and this will relieve that. A lot of things are in the foot. But anyway, in the script, Robert Rodriguez, the whole foot scene with Tarantino, because he knew he liked foot, he did that as a joke to him, not the other way around. A lot of people think that Tarantino wrote that script thing just so he could have Selma Hayek's beautiful foot in his mouth. No, it's actually not true. It was actually written as a practical joke to have Selma Hayek's foot, and he didn't expect it to happen, which is awesome.
Like having Freddy's claw in the tool shed?
Yeah. Maybe. All right. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, either way, everyone won. The audience won. I know people love that Selma Hayek scene. A lot of people said that online because this celebrated its 29th birthday. A lot of people said I didn't have porn, so I just watched the scene over and over again. So I don't know. Maybe this got a lot of people in the feet. I know Selma Hayek is still beautiful and she's still not confirmed a vampire because she still looks the same fucking age and even paler, if that's possible. So that's kind of cool. So check this out. The store clerk, in the beginning robbery was originally going to be played by Steve Buscemi. Can you fucking believe that?
I can actually.
But the store clerk did such a good job. Do you want to guess who is going to play Seth Gecko?
Who?
Oh, no. I want you to guess. I want you to guess who do you think Seth Gecko was going to be played by? Or the Gecko brothers originally.
Yeah, my sleep medicine's kicked in, man. My brain function's not going.
Okay, so Michael Madsen played in not Inglorious Bastards, sorry, Reservoir Dogs, right? Remember he cuts off the ear, big dog. You remember that?
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
Tarantino was going to play Seth. It was going to be not the Gecko brothers. Originally, it was kicked around that it wasn't going to be the Gecko brothers. It was actually going to be the Vega brothers, but like with an alternate thing. That's awesome. Thank you so much. That is sorry. Eli just showed me a nice sign. I had to acknowledge it. But this was kind of going to be a different universe retelling of the Vega brothers as the Gecko brothers. So we could have actually got a prequel. And check this out, too. We could have got a prequel if we could have had Travolta and Michael Madsen as the Gecko brothers. Michael Madsen being the crazy one, you know? Because think about it. I mean, Tarantino acts like Michael Madsen, where he's crazy. Like when you leave, he tortures the victim. You know, and the other one kind of has their head on, right? And but this is the alternate universe. This is the other universe. But I mean, they were slated to play. We could have saw John Travolta as. But isn't that crazy?
It is.
So that was.
Let me segue into this real quick with a quick question.
Yeah.
Which method would you prefer? Would you prefer to go out like Travolta did or Madsen?
I would like to see Madsen play the Tarantino role, and I would like to see Travolta play the Seth role. However, I don't think Travolta would have been. You know what? I don't know. That's what I'm saying, but I don't know. In an alternate universe, I don't know. I'm happy with what we got, though. You know, I really am. However, I think it would have been cool, but there's even a line that, like, you could tell the lines are written for Travolta. He's like, "Are you going to be cool? You're going to be cool." And he put, you know how when when Clooney puts the gun and he does the cross kind of motion with the gun and he turns his head away and he goes, "You're going to be cool." You know, it's very Travolta-esque, is it not?
It is.
So anyway, there's that. Now I'm getting into some of my notes of actually watching it. So the liquor store scene is probably one of the best scenes, if not the best scene in the movie. A lot of people have a problem with this movie because they say it starts great and it ends terribly, or just whatever. But the first scene in the movie really bothered me because if he goes, "Shoot the bottles, I'm going to throw the toilet paper," that's actually not accurate. And also, too, they don't do a good shot count. And this is one thing, you know, I really care about movies is like if a gun has a magazine clip of 9, I want to be able to count it. And if they're shooting 15, I'm minusing points for each shot. This kind of
it's movie magic.
Well, this is a popcorn movie. Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
And it was the 90s. Don't forget that.
Oh, there's a great scene that you probably didn't realize when they have the hostage and they take her out and they finally get to the hotel. And he goes, "I said plant yourself there." Every time he says plant, they cut back to him. And there's a weird fucking, I don't think it's Monet. I'm not an art guy, but anyway, there's a copy of a painting of a potted plant. And every time he says the word plant, it cuts to him. Did you notice that, or is it just me?
It's been a long time since I've seen it, so I'm going to have to go back and check it.
Okay. Anyway, Harvey and Juliet's so Harvey Keitel and Julie, their conversation, Harvey Keitel actually makes his first comeback set in Quentin Tarantino movies in a long time as a main role. He was the Wolf. He makes one of the biggest comebacks here, even though this movie is kind of but their conversation, so get this, this is Harvey Keitel's biggest movie. Harvey Keitel didn't have a big movie, like a big comeback since the Quentin Tarantino thing. Quentin Tarantino put him in 3 movies in a row where his fucking shit. But this was Juliet, Louise Juliet, whatever her name is, her first huge movie. And by the way, did you know that this is not Quentin Tarantino, sorry, George Clooney's first big movie ever? Like besides Return of the Killer Tomatoes, which I consider his masterwork, but a lot of people.
Yes, it makes sense because he probably used Dusk Till Dawn as a springboard to get onto General Hospital, which
no, you're thinking, dude. You're thinking ER. Sorry.
Oh, ER. Yeah.
You're thinking ER. Now, ER was directed. There was a episode. Oh, god damn it! All right, hold on. Can you carry on the show for like 2 seconds? I need a pee.
Actually, I'm about to go to sleep.
God damn it! All right. All right, I will carry it on then. I'm holding it,
and that way you can go.
All right, I'm gonna hit. Are you gonna be back when I get back?
Later, so I will catch you later.
All right, well, I'll see you later. And night parties, just sharpen your blades. I'll be right back. That was fun. I gotta pee. Oh shit, are we running? I don't even know. I think we're back. Okay. Anyway, shit. So let me close out the show here. Cheech Marine actually plays 3 characters in this. Fun fact. He plays the carnival barker. He also plays the gangster at the end, and he also plays the border control, which is a little creepy, you know, wanting to watch a white girl pee, you know. I mean, I know there's fetish sites for that, but I think you got to be German to actually enjoy that. I don't know. That's just me. Let's see. Oh, the same band in this movie are from Roadhouse. So I don't know if you got in the Patrick Swayze version, of course. Not that I have any qualms about the remake, but the original Roadhouse, the band is actually the band in this movie. And it really bumped me because I saw this movie first. I know that's sacrilege saying, but I didn't see Roadhouse till later. But yeah, this is the original band from Roadhouse is actually in this movie. Not the blind dude playing, but the ones before when Jack comes in and all that good stuff. The bullet count is off. I did mention that. I'm just reading from my notes right here before I wrap it up. Bullet count's off. Seth uses a 6 revolver. I'm not a... You know, I like shooting guns. I'm not like one of those gun nuts, but he's definitely got like a 44, you know, and it's got a 6-shot. There's some times where he shoots like 9 bullets before reloading. And Fred Williamson, I don't even know why I typed that in, but there you go. So anyway, there you go. I'm sorry. I had to take a long pee break, and then my whole crew is gone. But that's my Dusk Till Dawn. And as an addendum, because we're oh shit, we're actually at an hour. Great. So cool. So that's Dusk Till Dawn. It's a great movie. It's in my top 10. I'm actually teaser going to do a top 10 of my favorite vampire movies. And that's probably going to be on Midnight Ramen. I don't know. Maybe I'll put it out there for all y'all. We have a great show planned for you next week. We're going to do Total Recall with Antonius Montana. And we're going to do a Cinema Court of End of Days. We're going to do a double-fisted Arnold show for you guys. Seems awesome. And I'm going to do a secret super episode of vampire stuff. Top 10 movies that you should watch of vampire movies that don't suck, because most of them do. Get it? Anyway. All right, there you go, guys. Shit. I didn't give out my score. Of course. How dare I? All right, so anyway, this movie got a 64 with critics and a 76 with the fans. I give this movie an 79. Why is 79? Because it's not quite an 80. It's just not there, but it's so close. I give it a 79.999 if it was possible, but it's not an 80. It's just not that good. Now, the first part of the movie, I would judge to be like an 85. The second part of the movie, although good, I put it as like a 75. It's just not as... Fucking Priceline.com throwing a fucking advertisement during my show. How dare they? Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Remember, be kind, rewind, be ethical to each other. If you can't afford to tip, you probably shouldn't taste. You can contact me at knifepartypod@yahoo.com. And remember, if you do like the show, like, subscribe, spread the word as much as you can. But if you like the show enough to throw me a little bit of money to keep the shit going, and if you want to hear more things that I do, you can always go. And always adding to it. I treat this like a job, people. I do not just do the minimal effort, all right? I throw in at least 3 hours of radio every week at minimum, and that's at patreon.com/knifepartypod. And I will take your messages, your suggestions. I also make merchandise, all that other good shit. So thank you so very much. You make this all possible. I love watching movies with you. This is the reason why I do it. I don't do it for the money. I like watching these movies. I like talking to you guys. This is my therapy. So thank you very much. Thank you for Neo for being on the show. And thanks for all of you for listening. And I love you, and good night.